Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about different types of Twitter tweets and what types of tweets are most effective, how to craft a tweet that is more effective than another type. The first type of tweet is a basic. A basic tweet could have just a comment, or if you're tweeting an article, it would be literally just copying the article name and a link to that article. This is an example of that type of a tweet. It has the name of the article right here, Understanding the Texas Biometric Privacy Law as an Employer, and then the link was input. Now you'll notice that this actually has a picture. That happens automatically with a Twitter card. A Twitter card is a feature in your website that when you put in just a link, and even if you were just to tweet this link, Twitter goes and is able to see the images and to pull an image from that website. So you'll notice all I did was put in the link, and yet you see the actual image that comes from the article. If you click on this image, it's a live link. So it will take you to the actual article, which it did up here when it pulls this article. So these are live links. I have a video that goes more into that and how to install Twitter cards on a WordPress website, so you can take a look at that if you have any more questions. This basic type of a post where you have the title and the link to the article is very basic. It, as you may be able to tell, doesn't have any kind of personal comments, it doesn't have any keywords or hashtags, it doesn't mention anyone. So there are ways that you can do a better post than this. That way is to add a personal comment. People respond better to additional information or additional comments. Here's an example of this type of a post. This has some verbiage talking about the movie Black Panther, gives you a little bit of information, includes a link. So you have, the name of the movie, you have a link that'll take you to the article in Forbes and some information about that article. The next type of a tweet is a retweet, where you add a comment and retweet the article and link. This is a common type of a tweet that asks for retweets, although it's not the only type, where you can come in and you basically just tell it you want to retweet. This is the original tweet, and you might say, that looks great, right? And then you just tweet it. And then it shows up right here, and you see the original tweet along with your commentary. Another type of tweet is responding or replying to somebody directly through their Twitter handle. Now, if you respond to someone directly and say, for example, @SwipeClock, Twitter will assume that you want to talk directly to SwipeClock, and so it won't show that tweet to everybody. So a secret around that is putting this little period before, and then it'll inform everyone. So for example, if you wanted to tell someone Disney is offering this discount, you would put the period before and talk to that person. This is an example of that type of a tweet. When you use and refer to a specific Twitter user, then all of that user's followers will see your tweet. So if you talk to Disney or any public figure, any author, anything like that that has a Twitter account, all of the followers that follow that account, you can see right here, this particular account has over 7,000 followers. So anybody who's on Twitter that is a follower, this will show up in their feed. But that only happens by putting the period in front. If you were to just omit the period, then SwipeClock, the account, would get a private message from you instead of having that show up publicly. The next type of a tweet is when you present a problem and a solution in the tweet, which inspires people to go read more and find out how to solve a problem. Here is an example of that type of a tweet, targeting human resource employees and asking a question. This tweet we originally pushed out right after Hurricanes Irma and Harvey. So do you know what to do if your business has to close from a natural disaster? And then here's the solution. Find out here, and this picture is a Twitter card which pulls the image from the article. So if I click on it, you'll notice that that article immediately starts to pull up. The next type of a tweet is one that shares a statistic or a fact. This is an example of a statistic or a fact. Buddy punching affects 75% of employers. And then in this tweet, we added a solution, find out how to stop it. And this again puts you over to an article that gives that education around that problem and how human resources can stop that problem. Next type of a tweet is an endorsement tweet. I actually had a hard time finding an example of an endorsement, but this would be an example of endorsement. Someone who's saying something that they loved or they didn't, that they related to, or that they, I guess you could even say an anti-endorsement of something that maybe they hated. Number 8 would be a tweet with an embedded Slideshare inside of it. This is an example of an embedded Slideshare. You'll see that you have this little Twitter preview. If you click on it, it'll actually show the Slideshare inside of the tweet, and you can go through, or whoever's looking at it can go through and look at the information in the Slideshare. The way you can add a Slideshare to a tweet is by going to the Slideshare itself, clicking on the Twitter icon. You can modify your message however you want, and then just tweet it, and that will embed it into that tweet. The question answer tweet is a good tweet to get a lot of engagement. You don't have to refer always to another website or to a blog page to be successful in engaging your audience. Twitter in particular likes to have tweets that are polls, that ask questions, that engage in conversation. Those are things that Facebook actually discourages with the new changes, but Twitter still loves that kind of content. This is an example of that type of a tweet, asking a question to your audience of what types of things they prefer, how they solve solutions, just starting a conversation. This gives your followers a chance to come back and retweet it and give a response or answer back to it, and it starts that conversation going. Another way that you could do this is to have an open-ended question where you simply ask the question and wait for the types of responses that you get. The next type of tweet that you can do, and I see this on a lot of accounts, is doing an inspirational quote. Some accounts will do an inspirational quote once a day, some will do it once or twice a week, but I do see this is very popular. Who doesn't like to be inspired or to have, a nice push or motivation? Here's an example of an inspirational quote tweet. And if we scroll down, we can see another one. And this one has an image attached to it. Another type of a tweet that you can do is a photo tweet. Here's an example of a photo tweet. This photo is not pulling from a website, so if I click on it, it'll give me just a copy of that photo that Twitter has uploaded for this particular tweet. I would suggest that you use a combination of all of these techniques, or 3 or 4 of them, to create the most effective tweets. Having a photo with a commentary, or a commentary and a link, including a question and then having a statement or a fact and the link to the article, or having a poll with a picture. So using all of these different types of techniques or in combination with some of the other techniques will help you to be more effective in your tweeting on Twitter. My next video is going to be on tips and hints that I would recommend whenever creating a tweet, so be sure to check that out. And of course, if this video was helpful or if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and send me any questions that you have in the comments. Have a great day.